and welcome to Christmas Movie Spotlight. This is episode 4, and I am so excited to be here with you. I'm Dawn Mack, and I am here with my lovely and wonderful friend and co-host, Pam. Hello, Pam.
Howdy, y'all. Did I get that right?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? If I didn't know any better, I would swear that you had been living in the South for a while. You had that pretty well down pat. Oh my gosh. Now I'm going to preface and let folks know tonight. First of all, thank you so much for tuning in. We're glad to have you here. But Pam is a little bit under the weather this evening. So, she may not be quite as chipper and chirpy as normal, but nonetheless, we hopefully she'll perk up as we go about because we have got some great movies that we're going to be talking about tonight, as well as showcasing another album that we're going to be previewing, and I'm pretty excited about this one in particular. And to give you a little highlight about tonight's show, we have 4 Hallmark movies that we're going to be reviewing, and we have one box office movie. We have a brand new single that's just been released, and we also are going to be premiering the previously released and brand new released all over again Blake Shelton Christmas album, and it's a great album. And it's called Cheers, It's Christmas, and we'll be getting into that a little bit later on. But Pam, how are you feeling? Are you you think you'll be able to hang in through the evening?
I think I'll live.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that. I would hate otherwise, being how you're one of my dearest friends ever.
Thank you. Well, for the listeners, I had a emergency root canal, and it's like, it's something that you don't want to go through, but sometimes you don't have a choice if you want to keep the teeth that you have in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mouth is pretty sore from that, but like I said, I'll live.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, but I hope that you're definitely on the upswing. I know those can be dependent upon the severity of them, and especially if it's an emergency situation, that can be pretty detrimental in terms of, the soreness afterwards. So hopefully you were on the mend and are feeling better than you were just a couple of days ago when all this went down. And it's bad enough that, it's an emergency thing, but you really had no time to mentally prepare for the fact that you were having extensive dental work. So, it's not like normally when they tell you, okay, you're going to do this, come back in a week, and you just kind of get ready for it. But you really had no time to prepare. It was just like, okay, here's what it is, and here's what we got to do. And
well, that's
so
just it, and I think that's a good and a bad thing in a way, because, if most people, which I think most people are like myself, they do not like to go to the dentist in the first place.
Yeah.
But when you walk into the dentist office and you expect to get a tooth filled and be done for the year, and then to be told, oh, no, it's bad, that's got to have a root canal, you're going tomorrow because otherwise that nerve is going to be exposed, and you just go. You know what I mean? And to me, mentally preparing, there's no such thing.
Oh, I know. Well, well, I must tell you, I don't know about you, but I'm not a fan of the dentist. I'll go because it's what we need to do, but, I don't know too many people that like the dentist. So you have really been through the ringer on this lately, so I am, my heart goes out to you because, it's bad enough when you're going for routine dental work that you're getting done, and then all of a sudden it's like you said, you thought this was going to be it for the year, and hello, emergency root canal. So,
yes.
But anyway, well, let's shift gears a little bit. I heard yesterday, and you tell me if there's any truth to this. Did you get snow up in your part of the world?
Girl, don't you be swearing at me.
I'm really not trying to. I'm serious. I saw something on the news.
You said that S word. Yes, we did.
I did, didn't I? Oh, my gosh. Forgive me, please. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we did. We didn't get a lot. I mean, it depended where you lived, between Wisconsin and Illinois and Indiana and that. But we got that wonderful Arctic blast from Canada, as we usually do. And, at times it was down to like 10 degrees. And then you look outside and there's snow, and you're like, okay, that's it. We're done now. I'm over it.
Yeah.
You know, but
Oh my
but you
gosh.
guys got
Well,
cold weather too, right? For this time of year.
yeah, let me tell you this morning. Now, mind you, I'm in the Carolinas. I'm in the southern part of the U.S. So, as you know, but the listeners don't know this. But in any event, they were saying last night, well, the last couple of nights, they were saying, our meteorologists here were saying, oh, you better prepare. There's going to be a hard freeze on Saturday morning. And we're like, no way. It's like November. This doesn't happen in November. Well, we had 29 degrees when I woke up this morning, and yes, there was a hard freeze. So that was just crazy because I'm thinking, did I wake up in Chicago? Because this is more like your kind of weather for this time of year. And it has really been like a balmy 40, 41 degrees all day today. So, my heat is running. I'm drinking coffee as we're chatting. And yeah, it's been pretty cold. It's very unseasonal. This is the kind of weather we get in January, January, February easily, but not in mid-November, 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. It just doesn't happen. So I'm kind of feeling a little bit of,
well, even for
I kind of know
us too. Mhm.
yeah. Well, now I have a feeling of what you're dealing with in November every single year. I'm really not complaining. I mean, I'm glad to see it's finally turned cold because, I thought forever it was just going to be summer all the way through December. We were having just a couple weeks ago 75 degrees still, and it was like, really, it's October, folks. Let's get a memo here, Mother Nature. But so any event, I think we're going to have a pretty harsh winter. I don't. That's what they're saying at least. So we'll see. But anyway, to everyone listening, thank you so much again for tuning in. This is Christmas Movie Spotlight, and we are excited about tonight's show. And I'm thrilled that Pam could be here because about a day or so ago we weren't too sure with her mouth situation, but glad to have you here as well, Pam. And we have got a lot to talk about tonight, and hopefully we'll get it all crammed in the 2 hours that we are going to be here. And first of all, the one thing I want to talk about, we are now, I guess, officially in the holiday season. We're just 2 weeks away, or just under 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving now. And I don't know, Pam, I know that aside from this wonderful show that we do, you don't make a habit of cutting the radio on and looking for Christmas music. But what I experienced this week was someone sent me a text because they know I'm Christmas crazy. And they said, did you know the local radio station started playing Christmas music? And, of course, it was no surprise. I figured it was about that time. But have you noticed or have you heard of anyone in your area that is talking about the local stations there playing Christmas music already?
Not that I'm aware of. I half expected it when I got in the car on Wednesday to go to the dentist to hear something. But the station that I was on didn't play any, but then they play oldies. So I'm not sure if this particular station even plays Christmas music because I just started listening to it.
Oh,
so,
okay.
But I wouldn't be surprised if there's other ones that are.
Yeah, well, I'm hearing rumblings that is the case. In fact, a fellow broadcaster friend of mine just sent me a message today and said that today or yesterday, I believe, was the official kickoff to holiday music season for terrestrial radio around the country. And so I was like, oh, okay. But our station here that a lot of people listen to is Magic 99.5, and they're like the big station in our state, and you can hear them online, and they're local to where I live, but they started, I think, on Thursday. And so everybody that lives here that gets jazzed about them playing that. It's kind of a big build-up. They were, talking about it. So I was just curious, but they are kind of linked into iHeartRadio. They're owned by iHeartRadio. So I figured all the iHeartRadio stations across the country are probably going to be playing Christmas music if you think about all the stations that they have. So I guess it's true.
More
it's
than
officially
likely.
Christmas music. Yeah, more than likely. But in fact, the reason I was mentioning that is because I just found out a day or so ago. Well, I knew this particular piece, but I knew that Nick Jonas was coming out with a holiday album this year, and so just a day or two ago, I found out that he has released the first single from the album. I don't know the drop date for the album itself yet, but he has released the first single, and the single is a duet with Shania Twain. And so when I first heard that they were doing a duet, I was thinking, I wonder how this is going to sound. And so I was pretty impressed, actually. So they have a great song. It's called Say All You Want Christmas. It's a really good song. And so we're going to kick off our show tonight with this particular song. And here is Nick Jonas and Shania Twain and Say All You Want for Christmas.
Spill all your emotions on the table and let me see your heart upon your sleeve. Open up your soul, I wanna know exactly what you need. Say all you want for Christmas is me. I know that I got this thing wrong, but you don't need more expensive, non-essential things. 'Cause when I kiss your lips, it feels like it means everything I need. So tell me all you want for Christmas is me. So I'm gonna love you like it's always Christmas Eve. I'm gonna sacrifice the selfish part of me. 'Cause when we're all alone and I hold you close, everything I need. Say all you want for Christmas is me. This time of year we always get distracted, trying to fill up all the space under the tree. So let's take 'em back to know exactly what we really need. Say all you want for Christmas is me. So I'm gonna love you like it's always Christmas Eve. I'm gonna sacrifice the selfish part of me. 'Cause when we're all alone and I hold you close, it's everything I need. Say all you want for Christmas is me. You don't need to worry, baby, because I'm right here by you. And every day would drive me crazy if I lost you. So I'm gonna love you like it's always Christmas Eve. I'm gonna sacrifice the selfish part of me. 'Cause when we're all alone and I hold you close, it's everything I need. Say all you want for Christmas. Say all you want for Christmas. Say all you want for Christmas. It's me.
Well, that was Nick Jonas and Shania Twain and Say All You Want for Christmas. And I've heard that he is releasing a Christmas album this year. In fact, I don't even know what the title of the album is going to be. I mean, everything has kind of been under wraps. That's why I was so surprised that the single had been released ahead of that with no real release date or album title or any other specific details about that. But Pam, what do you think about that song?
I'm loving them together. I could not even imagine, the both of them singing together either, because just some people you don't put together, in your head
That's
when
right.
you think of songs. And I actually think that they should do more duets. And where did Nick Jonas get that Southern accent?
Maybe Shania's rubbing off on him. I was doing a little research because when I came across the song, I was trying to find out some information about it. And earlier this year, she, I guess, held a concert, but I'm not sure where it was. And she had him appear to sing her duet that she released previously with Billy Currington called "Party for Two." And I don't know if you remember that one, but Nick Jonas came on and he sang that duet with her, and so I saw a clip of that, and I thought, that's pretty interesting because that's the first I'd heard about it. I didn't realize that he had done anything with her, and but that was back in the summer, I believe it was, and so I'm sure out of that he probably said, "Hey, Shania, now it's your turn to return the favor." But they did. They sounded really great together, and I agree. I hope this is not the only duet we hear from them. Great pairing there. It turned out really well. So it makes me kind of anxious to hear the rest of Nick's album when he releases it. So and we will tell you that once we know when that's going to be, we'll be bringing it to you here on Christmas Movie Spotlight. We'll be reviewing that in a few weeks. And we got, you think you've got all the time in the world through the end of the holiday season, but it's creeping up fast. I mean, I think we've got, 6 or 7 weeks now until Christmas. And that just is mind-boggling to me, how it's just kind of, we went from all these weeks and months, and now we're down to just, Thanksgiving's 2 weeks away. It's just crazy. But anyway, so we're going to move along now and start to talk about our movies that we're going to be featuring. And the first one that I want to touch on is it's a Hallmark Channel movie that is coming up on November 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. The name of it is Coming Home for Christmas, and it stars Danica McKellar and Neil Bledsoe. And the plot of the movie goes like this. Allie Richfield is at a crossroads when she lands a job as house manager for the exquisite Ashford estate in the Virginia countryside. And while preparing for the sale, she plans one final Christmas Eve gala for the Marley family, though they seem to be a family in name only. There's Kip Marley, who never met a party he didn't like, Robert, the handsome but all-business executive of the estate, Sloane, who arrives with her 2 young children, Sam's husband, and the 90-year-old matriarch, Pippa, a spitfire who doesn't want to put the house up for sale at all. As Allie is inserted into the home and the lives of the Marley family, she finds herself drawn to Robert, even as Kip pursues her. Can she navigate her suddenly complicated love life while helping mend family feuds and maybe teaching all the true spirit of Christmas? And first of all, I have to say, without even watching the movie yet, Danica McKellar is one of my favorite Hallmark female actresses that they cast every year. And I always look forward to the countdown to Christmas because with fingers crossed, I'm hoping that she's casting at least one movie. I love the way she acts, and I've always enjoyed her on screen. And I think this is going to be a great movie. And Pam, what are your thoughts initially about this?
Well, you pretty much said it all, and I totally agree that Danica is one of my favorites as well. Whether it's on the Hallmark Channel or, a Lifetime movie or something, I just enjoy her so much.
Yeah, she is. She's truly a gifted actress, and it seems like everything when she's on screen, movies, she just makes movies so magical. And she's played in several of the princess theme type movies that Hallmark has had, and I think this one because it's kind of that same sort of very rich type thing. I saw a picture of her, and she looked like a princess in it, as she has in some of the other roles. But I really like her. And Neil Bledsoe, he is. I don't think I've seen him on canvas on Hallmark, so he may be new this year. Are you familiar with him, Pam? Do you know who he might be?
No, actually, I don't. The name doesn't ring a bell.
And when I saw
not even a Christmas bell.
Even a Christmas bell. There you go. No, when I saw the picture of the two of them, you know how they always have the promo picture for each of the movies, and I didn't recognize him from previous movies that I had seen on Hallmark. So he will be new this year. And again, the movie is Coming Home for Christmas. It premieres Saturday, November 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, and it's going to be a great one. And we happen to have a trailer for Coming Home for Christmas.
Danica McKellar is decking the halls.
We need to get some Christmas in there right away.
Neil Bledsoe could really use some holiday spirit.
Why not?
But it might be working.
What do you think of my grandson? Which one?
A little too well. It's incredible.
I thought he'd never leave. His whole house feels alive again.
Maybe it's not the house.
Coming Home for Christmas. Premieres Saturday, November 18th at 8. Part of Countdown to Christmas on Hallmark Channel.
Now, I will say that the guy that's playing Kip Marley, and I can't think of his name right off the bat in this movie, he also stars in Chesapeake Shores, which is one of my favorite Hallmark series, which is now on hiatus for the winter and will be back next summer. But and I love this guy because he always plays the quirky roles, and he's hilarious to watch on screen, and so I think it's going to make for a very interesting movie nonetheless. And so we're going to move right along now, and we are
Well,
officially
before
gonna
you do, may I interrupt
Yeah.
you?
You certainly may. I'm trying to save you on talking, by the way. You know.
I know, but I had to look him up, that Neil Bledsoe, because
Yeah.
the name didn't ring a bell, but I thought, well, let me look real quick. So I looked him up, and I remember him from Ugly Betty. He played Tyler, so and he's a cutie
goodness.
patootie, so.
Uh-huh. Well, thank you for sharing that because I knew the name, and even when I saw his picture for the Hallmark movie premiere, I was like, this guy looks so familiar to me, but I can't place him, and that's it. That's where I remember. That's it. Thank you, Pam.
You're
and
welcome.
well, and by the way, I'm not trying to like out talk you tonight. I'm trying to keep you from having to
I
talk.
know.
She isn't. I mean, she's really been a lot of pain, folks, and we did discuss this prior to, so don't think I'm trying to hog the airtime tonight. I told Pam I would give her a break because, I mean, it's one thing to talk when you have to talk. It's another when you have to talk and keep talking. So we're trying to give her a little bit of a break, help her out. Hey, I tell you what, your mouth is going to be all healed by next week. We'll switch off. You can talk, do all the talking. How about that?
Yeah.
We'll make it even.
Girlfriend, don't forget, I have another dentist appointment on Tuesday.
Oh my gosh. Well, just tell the dentist that if there's any extensive work to be done, tell him he has to wait till the week after next because next week's show is going to be enormous. I mean, I don't know how we're going to get it all in 2 hours. It's going to be crazy, which we'll talk a little bit later about that towards the end of the show as we close. But anyway, we're going to kind of move into our album of the week, which I am excited about this. And this week we are going to be featuring and reviewing Blake Shelton's album called Cheers, It's Christmas. And I mean, who doesn't love Blake Shelton? I mean, come on. He could sing the phone book and would make it sound dreamy as all get out. But what I found really interesting was his beloved girlfriend, Gwen Stefani, girlfriend, fiance, whatever they are. I know they're a couple, but I don't know. I still don't know if they're engaged or not. I guess it doesn't matter. But she's released an album, which our first episode we did premiere that. But so I guess it's no surprise that he would release this holiday season, and I think that's just so romantic and sentimental. But Pam, did you I know we were doing some research for this album for this week. Did you come up with anything about it?
I sure did. You know I will.
You are the research maven, lady.
Hey, you're not so bad yourself, let me tell you.
Oh, well, thank you.
But Blake originally released the album called Cheers in 2012. And with over 700,000 copies sold since its initial release, Cheers, It's Christmas has become a classic holiday music collection. I can understand why.
Yeah.
On this, the fifth year since its release, the 2017 version includes new artwork, images, and 3 newly recorded holiday songs: Save Your Shadow, Two Step Round the Christmas Tree, and Christmas Eve. It's no surprise that Blake would re-release his 2012 Christmas album in the same year, this is what Dawn was saying, that girlfriend Gwen Stefani released hers.
For real. Now, I want to share something. This is me admitting here. Just go ahead and say duh, Pam, because you're going to want to, or what do you call it, dork. But when I saw this, when I saw he had an album out this year, I was kind of scratching my head because I was thinking, okay, maybe this is like deja vu or something. But I could have sworn he just released a Christmas album like a couple years back, But what threw me is the album art is completely different, like the cover art. If you were to go and pull the 2012 version of this and look at it, you would see that this year's version is completely different, the album art, that is. And the fact that this year, with the re-release, he's added the 3 new songs, which we will be featuring on the show tonight as we go along. but it's kind of like a treat for fans. If they go and buy the newer version, the re-release version, I should say, they're going to get these three songs, which is really an added bonus. So, but the album includes the songs Jingle Bell Rock, White Christmas, Oklahoma Christmas featuring Reba, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. There's a New Kid in Town with Kelly Clarkson. Santa's Got a Choo Choo Train, Home featuring Michael Bublé, which we've all heard and loved. I love that version with the two of them. Winter Wonderland, the Christmas song, Blue Christmas, I'll Be Home for Christmas, Silver Bells featuring Xenia, Time for Me to Come Home featuring Dorothy Shackelford, The Very Best Time of Year featuring Trip to Funk, whoever that is, and then the three new songs, of course. I guess it's a rapper or something. I don't know. We'll have to
I
find
would
out.
imagine.
Yeah, and I was afraid I was going to totally train wreck that when I was trying to say it. But and then the three new songs, Save Your Shadow and Two Step Round the Christmas Tree, which is a Susie Boggess tune originally, and Christmas Eve, which here's a nice little factoid for you. Christmas Eve was also released on Gwen Stefani's album this year as well. So isn't that so sweet? They have the same song on both the Christmas albums. So needless to say, but we're going to hear several of the tracks off of this album this evening to kind of give you a great preview. If for some reason you didn't, hear the Blake Shelton original version of this album when it was released in 2012. Well, tonight you're going to get a little bit of an overview, and hopefully it'll inspire you to want to go and add this to your collection of wonderful Christmas music. And so the first of several tracks off of the Blake Shelton Cheers It's Christmas album that we're going to take a listen to is Jingle Bell Rock.
Jingle bell, jingle bell rock, jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring, snowing and blowing the bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell twist, jingle bells chime and jingle bell time, dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square, in the frosty air. What a bright go riding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle in the jingling feet. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. In a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle in the jingling feet. That's the Jingle Bell, that's the Jingle Bell, that's the Jingle Bell Rock.
Blake Shelton and Jingle Bell Rock, which happens to be the first track on the album Cheers It's Christmas. Okay, Pam, what'd you think?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. That's one of my favorite Christmas songs. I believe that I gave you that on your list when you asked me my favorite Christmas songs. If there's such a thing, right? Go ahead and say it, Dawn.
I mean, I would. We're the fourth episode in, and I figured it's either growing on you at this point or you're hating it as much as you did before. So there'll be no happy medium. But I'm just giving her a hard time, folks. You have to go back to episode 1 to totally understand and get this. But this little running joke between she and I. But I thought it was great. I mean, I'm like you. I mean, how do you not love Jingle Bell Rock? I don't care who does it. It's just such an
Right.
upbeat, peppy, happy song, and of course, it was originally done. Well, the first time I ever heard it was by Bobby Helms, and so I was just immediately a fan from the get go of the song, and so I knew, it's always interesting though. No matter who the artist is, when you hear they're doing a song that you're familiar with, you've heard before, you wonder how their version is going to be. What are they going to bring to it or take away from it that you haven't heard on the song before? And of course, Blake did not disappoint. I mean, we kind of knew this was going to be a great song and a great kickoff to his album, for sure. And so there you have it, Jingle Bell Rock.
Yes, and now I'm going to blow your mind even more before we get into the next Hallmark movie.
Ooh, please do.
Well, I think that you'll be pleasantly pleased.
Okay, I'm ready for it. Let's hear it.
Okay, so you know how I believe it was last episode, we talked about, on Take Two Radio, I now have the cookie recipes, holiday cookie recipes, and you said, oh, I think Pam's getting more into Christmas. I think I'm rubbing off on her. Remember that?
Yes.
Okay. So for the last, I don't know, at least 5 years, I think, maybe around there, we've had just a small tabletop Christmas tree because my kids are grown, and it's just not the same anymore.
Do I know where you're going with this? Even
though I have some
G-babies. I'm going to be quiet because I just think I know. Go ahead.
Even though I have my G babies, but now that they're a little bit older and can appreciate Christmas more, we bought a new Christmas tree that's 6.5 feet tall.
I'm coming to your house for Christmas. I can't believe it. Okay, folks, here's what's going to happen. Pam is going to, when she gets her tree, is your tree up already? I know it's not up. I just know it's not.
No.
Okay, I didn't think we were going to get that over the top. I mean, it's baby steps, folks. We've gone from a tabletop tree to we have a 6.5 foot. I'm telling you what, this is major, folks. You just don't understand the behind-the-scenes conversations that Pam and I have had about this very thing, among other things about Christmas. I mean, you would think she hated Christmas. She loves Christmas. But, she's always been just very practical and realistic. And it's like, come on, get some Christmas spirit. I need to bottle it and send it to you. I mean, really. So anyway, but so what we're going to do, folks, Pam doesn't know this because we haven't discussed it. So you can't boycott it because I'm putting it out here. But I want Pam, when she gets her tree up and decorated, I want her to take a picture of the tree because I honestly don't believe it. I won't believe it till I see it. And I want her to post it on her website, or we'll post it out there so you guys can see it. And by the way, which I'll do the same, I'll post my tree once it's all decorated. And we invite you to send us pictures of your trees decorated as well. And if you already have your tree up, send us pics. We would love to see what they look like, and I think this would be a lot of fun. So anyway, I mean, we got to celebrate this as a collective unit, folks, because this is major. This is like celebration has begun. I'm still just, I mean, this is really amazing. I'm just shocked.
Well, you want to hear the funnier part about that?
I mean, I had no idea. Oh my gosh!
You want to hear the funnier part?
There's something else to share?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Well,
I'm glad I'm sitting down. This is a bit much.
It's about the tree. I was watching QVC because I'm a QVC-aholic, right?
And you ordered it from QVC. Did you order it from QVC
yes,
too?
Oh, I did.
Oh
I
my
did
gosh! This is awesome.
Well, wait. So I saw it on TV. It was a Today's Special, and a Today's Special is only good for 24 hours at the price that they're giving it for, right?
Yes.
So I saw this tree, and I was like, oh, my gosh, I have never seen anything like this. It's absolutely stunning. And I've never been one that liked the flock trees, but this one, you have to have it in the flocked. Okay, so anyway, I took the link, and I emailed it to my husband at work, and I said, watch the video, because you can't just look at this tree and know how beautiful it is. You got to watch the video.
Not.
So he watched it, and he sent email back, and he said, well, I just ordered a tree that I'm supposed to pick up on Saturday, which I had no clue about. And he says,
oh my gosh.
But, yeah, but he goes, I want this one instead. So, yeah, that's what we did. How funny is that? He ordered one without even telling me.
Okay, folks, I'm just going to say that Pam is now going to take over the rest of the show because I'm speechless. She's going to have to suck it up and dismouth soreness because I really cannot believe this has happened. I mean, this is like a major, major, major thing. You have no idea how many times year in, year out, since Pam and I have known each other, we have conversations about this very thing, the tree, and she was saying, no, we're going to put out the tabletop. I'm like, why? You've got grandchildren. Do it for them. No, we're just going to. Well, I guess they had to get a certain age. I don't know, but whatever it took, we are thrilled to pieces. So if you are out there listening and you hear this craziness going on right now, and you are excited that she has a tree, please write us and tell us. We got to cheer her on because we're going to have her baking cookies. We're going to have a live YouTube before it's over with, doing a cookie show for the holidays. I can see it now. We're birthing a monster for Christmas. And it's happening right now here live on air, folks. But no, seriously, I'm thrilled to pieces that you finally have a tree. It took you long enough, but but no, this is big news, and I'm excited. But I'm very serious. When I say I want you to take a picture, and we will post it, and I will post a picture of my tree once it's up, and then we encourage all of you to do the same. We would love to see your trees, and because the show is all about you guys, and as we celebrate the holiday season, we want to hear about your traditions and your customs and all the great things that you do to help celebrate the season. And but this is major news, breaking news, right here on Christmas Movie Spotlight. This is a movie in itself. The two of us, you know what I'm saying?
And I purposely did not tell you because I wanted to put this on the show to blow you away.
It definitely blew me away, but it's in a good way, and I'm so proud of you. I mean, y'all just don't know how long we have had this conversation, and finally, and this is the first year that we have not gotten around to talking about the tree. The whole tree debacle, as we always do. So she's just, this is major. But in any event, well, Pam, I'm very proud of you, and I'm very happy for you. It makes me want to fly to Chicago just to take it all in myself. Which, on that note, I know what tree you're talking about because I saw them when it was today's special value, and I saw that flock tree, and I thought, if I didn't have a tree already, I debated it. But I said, no, I've got a tree I just bought like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago now, and it's in great shape. And if it weren't for that, I would have definitely probably bought one of those myself because they were absolutely gorgeous. And now, is it the one, just so I'm making sure it's the same tree, was it the one where it has all the different light combinations where you can make them colored or you can make them white?
137 different light functions.
Your grandchildren, they are going to be in awe of the tree. And that was one of the things that I loved about it was the light combinations because I was thinking, oh, my gosh, when the grandkids come over, I have a new granddaughter now, and she is just so alert. And I know by Christmas she's just going to be loving the lights,
Yeah.
And my grandson is already into that really big anyway. And so but I thought, wow, what a beautiful tree. And, those things have lifetime warranties, and they just last forever and ever and ever. So I cannot wait for you to get the tree up and send pictures because I want to hear you say it's either as beautiful as they showed on TV or it's even more beautiful or it's not as, I want to really get a review from you on that. So let me know. So the question, now this begs the question, when are you decorating? Because if I had a brand new tree, I would be so eager to get it up, even if I didn't decorate the rest of the house, I'd be so eager just to see how, what it looked like.
Well, like I said, we're still waiting for it to be delivered. It should be here this week, but don't count on it till after Thanksgiving at the very minimum, woman.
And that's pushing it, right? I know. I just said today I might decorate next weekend because Thanksgiving weekend is always so busy. And it seems, even though I have 5 days that I can get everything done, but then there's so much else going on that I don't know. We'll just play it by ear. And of course, my daughter looked at me like, "Are you out of your mind?" So we might wait till Thanksgiving weekend. But I know some people have already got their trees up and they're already, getting into the holiday spirit, which it's really a wonderful season to be in the spirit, and I can certainly understand why some people get so gung ho, and then you've got the total anti no not before Thanksgiving crowd. So anyway, it's a happy medium. It's to each his own, for real. But in any event, I'm very happy for you, and thank you for waiting to share that live on air tonight.
You're welcome. And I'm going to say that's a gift to remember from me to you, which segues into the Hallmark movie that we're going to talk about next, which is called A Gift to Remember. How's that?
You are so brilliant. That is a perfect segue. And this, to me, is a gift to remember that I will never forget. Pam has given me a personal gift because I can't tell you how much I have begged her to get a tree, like a real tree. Not necessarily a real tree, but an artificial tree that stands taller than a tabletop, So this has been a gift. Thank you. But, yes, this is a wonderful segue into the next movie that you are going to be talking about.
Yes, A Gift to Remember is going to be on the Hallmark Channel, and it premieres November 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. It stars Allie Liebert, Peter Port, and Tina Lifford. And before I get into the very short plot that we have here, anybody that's listening that loves The Young and the Restless should remember Peter Port on The Young and the Restless as Ricky Williams, Paul Williams' son. So that's your little trivia for that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the plot is leaving a little bit for us it's like a mystery, so we'll have to definitely watch it. But it's very short. An accident between a sweet bookshop worker and a handsome stranger leaves him without his memory. Determined to help him figure out who he is, she finds herself stepping outside of her comfort zone. In the process, she discovers taking risks can sometimes lead to the greatest rewards. So that makes you think, doesn't it? It almost sounds like it should be on the Mysteries and Movies channel.
I was thinking same, And who could you, oh my gosh, Peter Port, do we need to say more? He was phenomenal on The Young and the Restless, and he has been in Hallmark movies. And he was in one recently, I think back over the summer, which was really good. And so he's a great actor all around.
Yes, definitely. I was so upset when they knocked him off The Young and the Restless, but
I know.
He's gone on to do a lot more that we get to, watch and enjoy and love and look forward to, like this movie.
The beautiful thing about Hallmark Channel is that a lot of the soap stars that we don't see necessarily on, our favorite soaps or our now, defunct favorite soaps that aren't on air any longer, but it's nice to see that Hallmark Channel is utilizing these actors and actresses in a lot of their movies. And so we're, if you're a fan of Hallmark, then you definitely get to see them on screen at some point. And so that's a great thing. And there may come a time when, God forbid, there would be no soaps left on air. But it's nice to see that Hallmark recognizes that they're awesome, phenomenal, actors, and they would be perfect for some of these roles. And it's proven to work out just fine in the long run. So, so needless to say, but we have a little preview now for the movie A Gift to Remember.
There's a doggy in the window, and that doggy has a person.
This holiday season, fall head over heels in love. And never, ever forget.
Are we related?
I'm the girl who ran into you.
Unexpected.
That Christmas is for creating new memories.
We made a room full of paper snowflakes just to make kids in the hospital smile.
Peter Porte, Allie Liebert.
Find out who you are.
A Gift to Remember. Part of Countdown to Christmas on Hallmark Channel.
I think this is going to be a great movie, Pam. I can't wait.
Oh, I'm with you. Definitely with you.
And when does that air again? Can you give the time, the date and time again?
Yes, it's November 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on the Hallmark Channel.
Oh, and that's this Sunday, coming Sunday night. So that's, or a week from tonight, I should say. But yeah, that's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. And and by the way, before we go any further, have you been glued to the Hallmark Channel like I have been? I can't stop watching it. And these are movies I've seen, like other than the ones that are airing for the first time for this season. But I just love this channel. I love that and Hallmark Movies and Mysteries.
I actually have been watching quite a few. Last night I couldn't sleep, and I was watching one of my favorites. Was it called 9 Lives for Christmas, I believe it's called?
Yes, I love that one.
Where he plays a fireman, and yeah, that's one of my favorites. And I'm looking at the clock going, okay, now it's 2 o'clock. Okay, now it's 3 o'clock. Okay, now the movie's over. Now go to sleep. But then it's hard to go to sleep when you've been watching these movies because, like we spoke about before, you just picture yourself in the role of
you really do.
Of one of the actresses in there, and wouldn't that be nice if that happened to me or happened to my daughter or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird.
We live vicariously through these movies. It's all fantasy, imagination and stuff, but it's still kind of a it's kind of a break from the realities of real life, true. And, and you just think, gosh, it would be so great if life was really like this, where, everybody was so happy and cheerful and, Christmas was this major thing in the hearts of a lot of people, which it is, but, in that setting, that the way Hallmark depicts it in their movies. And I don't know about you, but like you finish, and I've done this too, and you're probably going to say, oh my gosh, yes. But I was watching Hallmark the other night. It was kind of late. I was up working, and one movie was finishing. I don't remember what it was. So, it completed, and then the next movie starts. And I don't know about you, but every Hallmark movie, Christmas movie in particular, they always start this cheerful, happy, jolly Christmas music, and it's just like so festive. And just when you think, okay, I'm done watching for tonight, I'm going to go to bed. And then you hear this music start, and it's just like, what's this going to be, it's one you've seen. But the way those settings, the opening scenes where they play the music and then they show you, like, it's always a canvas scenery, and it's everything so festive, and you're just like, okay, what is this? Okay, I think I'll watch just for a few, and then you're sucked in. Here you go again.
And that's exactly what happened to me last night, where the next movie started. And I thought, if I do not change the channel now, because, just so these people, the listeners don't know or realize, is I sleep with the TV on. It's something I've done for years and years and years, and I turn it down really low where you can barely hear it, but it's just something I have to do to be able to sleep. But I thought to myself, if I leave this channel on, I am never going to get to sleep.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny because I have this huge computer on my desk in my office, and the same thing happens, and I can stream television through my computer, but I did that the other night, and I was watching one movie, and the next movie started. I didn't get the computer cut off in time because here it was. This was like 10 o'clock, Eastern, my time. And I didn't get it cut off in time. So what was Dawn doing? Dawn was watching the movie till midnight. So I didn't get in bed till after midnight. But I love the movies. They always start. You just get sucked in. That music draws you in. The music and the scenery. Before you even know what the title is and who's in the movie, you're just like, okay, I'm going to watch because it's Christmas and it's festive and all this. But it's hard to watch the Hallmark Channel during this time of year and not be totally in the Christmas spirit. So, and this show, I think, is what prompted you to buy your tree.
I don't know. I think so. I swear it's like voodoo.
Well, I don't know about that, but all I know is I know before this year we weren't doing a show about Christmas movies and music, and lo and behold, we are doing the show now, and you bought a tree after all the years of having the back and forth. I don't know. I think there's something to it. So I'm telling you, folks, the cooking show's coming. We're gonna have full-on cookies. cookie exchange live on air. But by the time the last episode airs, just wait and see what I tell you. If not, this year's coming for next in the works. But anyway, we're going to move right along, and crazy banter that we are. And the next Blake Shelton song that we're going to talk about is the two-step Round the Christmas Tree. And this was a Susie Boggess. If anybody remembers her, she was a big country star back in the 90s, so she had quite a few hits. And this was her signature Christmas song that was out around that time that she was in the height of her career. And it's been recorded many times since, but Blake Shelton's take on it is very good. And here we are, Blake Shelton and Two-Step Round the Christmas Tree.
Oh, yeah. One more time, go. Yeah. There's a wondrous sight and a joyful sound every Christmas Eve in a western town. Gather up the kids, all the friends and family, 'cause the holly's hung and the candles bright, tuning up a fiddle on a moonlit night. Roll back the rug so we can two-step round the Christmas tree. There's a jolly man in a bright red suit. Did you ever see a Santa in cowboy boots, twirling across the floor, spurs a jingling merrily, as they sing those carols soft and low. We'll all be shouting out Cotton Eye Joe. Roll back the rug so we can two-step round the Christmas tree. Wait beneath the mistletoe, you'll never get a kiss. I never move that slow, there's too much I could miss. 'Cause a western guy can't be still, and a silent night is not for me. Roll back the rug so we can two-step round the Christmas tree. Yeah. Red bandanas, chili green, silver buckles on new blue jeans, jumping around the room to a Yuletide melody. I'm gonna be ready when Santa comes, but I'm gonna be dancing till he does. Roll back the rug so we can two-step round the Christmas tree. Waiting beneath the mistletoe, you'll never get a kiss. I never move that slow, there's too much I can miss. 'Cause a western guy can't be still, and a silent night is not for me. Roll back the rug so we can two-step round the Christmas tree. Get it! Waiting beneath the mistletoe, you'll never get a kiss. I never move that slow, there's too much I could miss. 'Cause a western guy can't be still, and a silent night is not for me. Roll back the rug so we can two-step round the Christmas tree. Roll back the rug so we can two-step round the Christmas tree. Oh, yeah.
Blake Shelton and Two-Step Round the Christmas Tree. And the album is Cheers, It's Christmas. And all right, Pam, what do you think about that one?
Where's my cowboy boots? I need to go kicking and stomping.
I
That
was
was
going to
great.
ask you if you know how to two-step.
No. I can pretend, though.
I know. I've seen two-stepping. Of course, I'm down in the South, so there's a lot of two-stepping that goes on down here, and so probably more so than up there in your part of the world. But yeah, and I mean, this song is perfect for that, I think. But I love that song. It's got that, country music is not what it used to be. Let's just face it. And it's nice to see a song. Blake has taken a song as contemporary country artist that he is, and has given it that traditional country feel, traditional classic country feel, I should say. And but I really liked it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I did too. I could just actually it reminded me of the time that I went to Texas and went to some of the bars down there in oh gosh, I can't think of the name of the town. It just El Paso. El Paso.
Uh-huh.
And they had Mickey's what's that country singer? Mickey
Gilley.
Mickey Gilley's bar
Mickey
down
Gilley.
there we went to and that. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you remember the movie Urban Cowboy and the soundtrack for that,
Love
and
that.
Mickey Gilley had a song in that, and Johnny Lee, and a whole host of other. But those were the two that stood out to me that got the most airplay from that album. But yeah, Mickey Gilley in Texas, he has, I think he has a series of bars across Texas. It did it one time. I don't know about now, but I know I've always wanted to go to Texas. I've been to one time. I've been San Antonio, but I was there on business, so I didn't really get to get out and see the town per se or much of Texas, but I'd love to go back. I think it's a really cool place.
Yeah, maybe one of these days we could take a road trip. I mean, I had a
There
lot
you
of fun.
go.
We were down there 4 days, and we went to a few different places in Texas, around the El Paso area, but we also went to New Mexico and we went to Mexico. So it was a fun-filled trip for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, I could see it now. Pam and Dawn. On the road, and doing our show from the road.
Again.
Now that would be a hoot. We'd have to live stream it to capture it, though. I mean, it just would be the same doing it as an audio thing on air. But yeah, I could only imagine that would. Oh my gosh, we'd probably end up arrested or something. But be kind of like Thelma and Louise Take Two,
Right,
hey,
right.
Take Two, no pun intended.
Exactly.
Inside joke, folks. Oh my gosh! Well, we're going to move right along now because Pam's mouth is probably killing her by now, and our time is also it's going by so fast. But our third Hallmark movie that we're going to talk about is going to be on the Hallmark Movies and Mysteries channel, and it's coming up on November 18th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and it's called Christmas Homecoming, and it stars Julie Benz and Michael Shanks. And the plot is as follows. A military widow rents an apartment to an Army captain recovering from an injury in battle. As they team up to save the town's military museum with a Christmas fundraising event, these two wounded birds find themselves falling in love and being healed by the magic of Christmas. And I think this is going to be a great movie. I love Julie Benz. She is just a phenomenal actress. What do you think, Pam?
Yeah, it sounds like it might be one of those very few Christmas movies that brings a tear to your eye.
Well,
anything that has to do with the military like that and Christmas and whatever to blend it together just kind of brings a tear to your eye. For me, it does.
Yeah, and and I know the holidays are really a hard time for military families anyway. And speaking of, we're on the back end of Veterans Day weekend, and Veterans Day was yesterday, as you know. And so, on that note, Pam and I just want to give a shout out to all the military families out there, to all the men and women who serve our country day in, day out, protect and serve to give us the freedoms that we have. And thank you for your service. We are greatly indebted to you. There's no amount of gratitude we could ever extend that could, repay you for what you're doing for this country. But so, that always is, I think, provokes tears just thinking about what families go through and what our men and women do to serve this country. And then, you couple that into a fictitious story, that has a military theme and a background to it. And people really identify with that on so many levels, whether you're in the military or not. And, of course, being on the Hallmark Movies and Mysteries channel, to your point, Pam, no doubt there will be a tear involved or two. It's just, which you tend to get that on the Hallmark channel, but I don't know, the Movies and Mysteries channel is a little bit deeper, and the stories are a little bit more dramatic and serious, and so they kind of tackle a little bit harder topics. So this one is, I think, going to be definitely one to watch. I'm going to plan to it's one I have a feeling I'm going to watch more than once over the holiday season.
Right, exactly. I can't wait
Yeah.
to see it. And, you know, I also want to add on to what Dawn said about thanking our veterans, and that I want to say God bless each and every one of you and your families. Being the mother of a son that was in the Marines for 4 years and being deployed, thankfully he wasn't in any of the war-torn areas, but it's enough to know that it was always a possibility to make you live with your fingernails in your mouth, you know, day to day, and praying to God each day that they come home safely. So thank you all for all you have done for us and all that you will do for us.
For sure. Well, we have a preview of Christmas Homecoming now to share with you.
Oh, that's the new tennis. Yeah. She gave her heart to a hero.
May I have this dance?
But this Christmas, her only wish.
A deployment doesn't just happen to a soldier. It happens to the whole family.
Is for him to return home. Julie Benz.
I can't promise that you'll come home.
I can promise you I'll do my best.
Christmas Homecoming, one of the 12 most wonderful movies of Christmas. Premieres Saturday, November 18th at 9 on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries.
Ooh, the preview just, if you're talking about a plot for a movie, that's one thing. When you hear the preview, it kind of really piques the interest. And I think this is definitely going to be a favorite of many over this holiday season. And coming up again, it's going to be Christmas Homecoming, and it premieres Saturday, November 18th, 2017, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. All right, we are going to move right into our next Blake Shelton song. We got a few more songs from his album called Cheers, It's Christmas that we're going to be premiering here tonight on the show. But this one I love, and after talking about such a heavy subject, which, tends to kind of invoke a lot of seriousness, this song I think it will lift your spirits. Of course, if Blake Shelton's singing it, you can't go wrong. But this is one of the funner, lighter songs on the whole album. It's one of my personal favorites of all the songs on the album. And this one is called Santa's Got a Choo-Choo Train.
All aboard! It was a big night in December, Chattanooga, Tennessee. All the old folks still remember that snowy Christmas Eve. The way Santa saved that holiday, it's still hard to believe. Oh, the weatherman was calling for the snow to keep coming down. And the way that it was falling, Rudolph never saw the ground. By Christmas Day, Santa's sleigh never made it to town. They heard a mighty whistle blow. The ground started shaking, it even shook the mistletoe. And then coming round the mountain, right through the steam and smoke, pulling 16 coaches, shouting ho ho ho. Who needs a sleigh? Santa's got a choo-choo train. Barely hold it, coming down the hill so fast. Yeah, that shiny locomotive made it to town in no time flat. But you can't go slow with a Christmas load coming down the railroad tracks. When he pulled into the station and he finally shut her down, there was a big old celebration, everybody gathered round. They passed out toys to the girls and boys from miles around. They
So who needs a sleigh when you got Blake Shelton singing about Santa's got a choo-choo train? I mean, but I love that, and I think one of the things I like about this album, even though it's Christmas and everything, but I love that Blake has kind of gone back to the roots of country music, and he's brought that into this album. I mean, when you think about how much country music has changed through the years, especially in the last 5 years particularly, it's nice to see a contemporary artist in the genre that is bringing some of that back, because he could have done all kinds of things with this album. And in truth, there are some other country artists that have released albums and they have the orchestra and and it doesn't even sound country. It's just traditional Christmas music. But I love this song, I think, for that reason in itself. But it's a great song too. What are your thoughts on that, Pam?
It was definitely a fun song, and I love how country it sounds. I can picture him going, Santa on that train, going down the mountain, up yonder by you, because there's no mountains by me.
Yeah.
But Santa would have to be on his own because I don't do mountains, but it reminded me of, when you take the kids to the mall to see Santa, they have those little Christmas trains, and you always got to ride the Christmas train when you see Santa. So, that was cute.
Now, wait a minute. You don't do mountains? Have you ever been to the mountains?
Oh, I'm not good with them. I
Is that a story for another show? I mean, okay, folks, I'm just going to put it out there. 2 things tonight. Pam has a tree, and she's not crazy about the mountains. I had no idea. And to think I've known this woman for going on 7 years, how does this get by me? I don't know. Well, I knew about the tree, but to know that she has a new tree and it's a real, it's actually going to be bigger than a tabletop, that's a major thing. But the mountains, I mean, I had no clue about that.
Yeah, I'm not good with heights. And, a lot of that mountain driving, I don't know how it is these days, okay? It's been a while, definitely, since I've been on a mountain. But I'm trying to think the last time that I was. There's several times. One time when we drove up to Missouri to go to that town there, and I can't think of the name of it, I had to drive the mountains, and they were doing Branson, thank you. The kids were little, and they were doing construction, and they have these huge signs, watch out for falling rock and explosions, and there's no like barriers or anything. You can look down and you see 1,000 feet below you and these little roads, and then there's another lane of traffic that's trying to get through, and I was a wreck. And there was nowhere to pull over to let my husband drive.
See, that's not an ideal
good
mountain driving situation. We're going to have to get you down here in Carolina, though, because the North Carolina mountains, you have the Blue Ridge Parkway that, goes up into Virginia, and it's a beautiful drive. And there are guardrails, and you don't have to worry about, oh, my gosh, I'm going to fall 1,000 feet down. Now, I will tell you that earlier this year, I went over to Floyd, Virginia, and any listeners out there who have been to Floyd, Virginia, and you've traveled the Crooked Road, then you're going to know what I'm talking about. But literally, they call it the Crooked Road because it is as crooked as it gets. I mean, it's not like coming out of the mountains and you're taking curves, as a part of either climbing the mountains or coming out of the mountains. These curves were unlike anything I have ever seen. And I always wondered why they called it the Crooked Road, and now I know. And believe me, I love the mountains and I love going to the mountains. But that tried my last nerve. It was really difficult because you're driving along and it's one of these things where there's constant speed limit changes where it'll tell you, in one curve, 30 miles per hour. The next curve it says, it gives you all these warning signs and it'll say 15 miles per hour or 10 miles per hour. And you're like, oh my gosh. And when you start around the curve, you realize why you can only go 15 or 10 miles per hour. And in certain instances, there were these no guardrail drop-offs, and you're like, just get me off this road, and it goes on. And because you can't go a normal speed limit, it does extend the time that you're on this road, and kind of in the mountains, it extends your time because of all the curves and and the twists and turns. So, yeah, I can see where you wouldn't be too crazy if you had that kind of experience, Pam. And I would promise you, if you ever make it down, if you ever make it to my part of the country, I won't take you to Floyd, Virginia, because you will swear off mountains forever. Trust me on that.
I wouldn't make it off that mountain. I swear, if I had to drive that mountain, I would have been stuck on there, and they would have had to airlifted me off. I'm not even kidding. And if you were driving, I would have been laying down on the back seat on the floor.
And just like, let me know when it's over.
Yes.
Well, trust me, I'm a very safe driver, and especially on that, you can't be anything but a safe driver. You can't be a daredevil on a mountainous range like that, because it's just incredibly dangerous. But I probably white knuckled the steering wheel the entire way until I was out of that, and back on flat road going straight away, But it was pretty tough. Oh my gosh. But anyway, yeah, I can see where you wouldn't like mountains. That was one aspect of I love the mountains, but I did not like that. But sometimes you got to travel those roads to get to where you're going, and that happened to be one of those.
Put me in an airplane. I'm not crazy about flying either. We've discussed that, but put me in an airplane. That's it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I tell you, if you had your druthers, if you saw the crooked road in Virginia, you would probably say, "Okay, I'm going to fly. There's no way I'm driving this road."
Yeah.
So if I thought I could get to Floyd, Virginia by airplane, which I don't think you can, because it's just a little hole in the wall in Virginia anyway. I mean, you could be fly into the nearest airport, but you still have to drive that road to get to where you're going in Floyd. I mean, that's just, there's no way around it.
Floyd will never see my shadow.
I was going to say, Floyd is not going to be on your bucket list of places to travel before you die, I'm sure. So,
no.
So anyway, but all right. Well, getting back to our show. Sorry about that, guys. But see, this is how we are. We warned you at the outset. We tend to kind of veer off, no pun intended, veer off into different directions. Oh my goodness.
Good one.
Yeah, I know. That was totally off the hip. It was not even planned. So what you got for us, Pam?
Next movie up is called A Bramble House Christmas, and it's on the Hallmark Movies and Mystery Channel, Sunday, November 19th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and it stars Autumn Reeser, David Hayden Jones, and Terrell Rothery. Now, I recognize the first two names and love and adore both those actors, but I'm not quite sure who Terrell is, so I'll have to look that up. But the plot of it is, while settling his father's estate, Finn Conrad becomes suspicious as to why the man left a nurse $50,000. His dad knew her for less than 2 months before he died. Just before Christmas, Finn wants what to reclaim. Huh? What? That's not written right. Finn wants to reclaim what he considers his family's money, going undercover to investigate the bed and breakfast the nurse has recently taken over. When Finn meets Willa, he discovers she's not a conniving gold digger at all, but a woman in need who put the money to good use. When she discovers his true identity, will it keep Willa from ever trusting him again? Will it, Dawn?
Dun, dun, dun. There's a sound effect we said we were going to get. Oh, my goodness. This sounds really good. And by the way, while you were going over that, I did look up Terrell Rothery. And when you look her up, you're going to go, oh, I know who she is. Look her up really quick.
Okay, so Terrell Rothery. Let's take a look real quick here.
She's been in everything on Hallmark, it seems like.
And she spells her name so differently that all you have to do is type in the first name. Oh, yes. I know who she is.
Yeah, there you go.
She's been on quite a few things that I've seen. Okay, I love her too. So That'll be good.
And
All three of them
for
together.
those of you who are going, who is she? If you are a diehard Hallmark fan, then you have seen her in Cedar Cove. She played Grace Sherman, and she has been in The Good Witch as Meredith Mitchell. And let's see, what are some other? She's been in The Good Doctor, which is that newest series, I think, on ABC that started this fall. So, yeah, I mean, those are like the most recent things that you may have seen her in. And, of course, she's in the occasional Hallmark movie here and there, too. She's a phenomenal actress. I really enjoy seeing her play. She's so charming.
She is. She really is. And and this is a girl thing, I love her short haircut that's in this picture if you're looking on IMDb where I'm looking.
I do, too. She totally works
and
it
I
and
wish
wears
I could do that.
I know. Let's do it, Pam. A double dog dare. I could never work it like that. Trust me.
Wait a minute. I'll be making cookies on YouTube before I get my hair cut that short.
You heard it right here, folks. Oh, my gosh. That's too funny. Well, I did not realize she's from British Columbia. She's from Vancouver, British Columbia. I thought she was a American actress, but she's Canadian. And but that's so awesome. I mean, I'm excited that she's in here. And the picture of the movie that they have shows Autumn Reeser and David Hayden Jones, and it shows a little girl. And so when I first saw the name Terrell, not connecting the dots initially, I was thinking it was a little girl. And then, of course, looking her up, it was like, oh, okay, I see that now. But yeah, this is gonna be a great movie. I love anything with Autumn Reeser in it.
I do too.
She's just so cute and perky, and and she brings so much life to roles. And she just has her own way about her that you can't help but love what she does. So she really brings a role to life, and so I'm just a firm believer that when you have an actress or an actor in a role, no matter what the movie or the plot is about, you just automatically know it's going to be good because they're in it. And so this should be really good indeed.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. We do have the movie trailer, so I'm going to go ahead and play that for everybody.
Okay.
I had a patient who gave me an extraordinary gift. It was the Christmas miracle she never expected. Welcome to Bramble House. It'll be you and just one other guest. Based on the acclaimed novel by C.J. Carmichael.
What do you do when you've been given a second chance at life?
Autumn Reeser, David Hayden Jones.
It's yours to choose.
One of the 12 most wonderful movies of Christmas.
What if this is where I'm supposed to be?
A Bramble House Christmas. Premieres Sunday, November 19th at 9 on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like it's going to be a great movie. Oh, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yes, that's a Bramble House Christmas, again, on the Hallmark Movies and Mystery Channel, November 19th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central.
All right. Well, we are going to, I think that wraps up the 4 Hallmark movies that we are previewing for this week. And I tell you, Hallmark has really outdone themselves this year thus far. They've had some great movies already, and there's still so many more to come. And I'll say, without giving too much away, if you've been watching Hallmark regularly, then you already know this. But over Thanksgiving weekend on the Hallmark Channel only, not the Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, but Hallmark Channel is going to have 5 premieres of their 20-some movies that they're premiering over the holiday season that will start on Wednesday and go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So there's going to be 5 of those movies coming up next week, and we'll be bringing it all here to you along with so many more. I don't know how we're going to get it all in 2 hours, but we're going to sure try. And but nonetheless, next week is going to be a huge week for our show, but also a huge week because it will be Thanksgiving and there'll be so much festivity going on. So it's going to be a great week. But anyway, to get you ready for that, you got to make sure you include Blake Shelton's album, Cheers, It's Christmas, as your collection to kind of get you ready for the holiday season. Or we're kind of in the holiday season, but we haven't officially gotten to Thanksgiving yet. But for a lot of people, they already call it that. But one of 3 brand new songs on the re-release of this album, we're going to play for you now. And this one, when I heard it, I was just kind of blown away because it really does capture the essence of Christmas and what Christmas is all about. And it can be so commercialized. And to hear Blake Shelton do this song, um, you know, you it just kind of pulls it all together. And I love the way he's kind of stripped this song down, and it's just really elegant and simple, but yet very powerful. And we're going to play for you now, Blake Shelton and Savior's Shadow.
I'm standing in my Savior's shadow. He is watching over me. I feel the rain, I hear the thunder as He cries for me. And standing in my Savior's shadow, grace will lead to where I'm free. I take His hand, we walk together, and His light shines on me. Though the devil tried to break me, my sweet Jesus won't forsake me. When I'm in my Savior's shadow, where I'm supposed to be. I'm standing in my Savior's shadow, following His footsteps there. Every mountain, every ocean, hears my every prayer. Though the devil tried to break me, my sweet Jesus won't forsake me. When I'm in my Savior's shadow, where I'm supposed to be.
Blake Shelton and Savior's Shadow. And again, the album is called Cheers, It's Christmas. And just absolutely, I take it back. I said the Santa Choo Choo song was one of my favorites, but this is probably the favorite song on the whole album. I really enjoy what this message is about. And Blake, of course, he just puts all his heart and soul into it. And what did you think about it, Pam?
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I could see them singing this in church.
Yeah, I know. I could see him singing it in church.
Yeah, that would even be better.
But no, I mean, it's definitely, I think being that this is a new song on the album for the re-release, I believe this is going to be a song that a lot of folks are going to pick up and they're going to sing in church and they're going to sing in other places. And it's going to be, I think, one of those songs that becomes a new traditional Christmas standard that you hear year in and year out. It's just absolutely beautiful, as you said, and so Blake, of course, does not disappoint. Another great song off of this album, and let us know how you like our review of this album or any album that we review. But if you have the album, if you picked it up since it was released, drop us a line. Let us know what you think about it. We'd love to hear from you. And we got one more movie that we're going to review tonight, and this one is a box office movie that is going to be releasing on November 17th, and it's called The Star. And this is an animated movie, which I always am so excited at Christmas time, especially when an animated movie comes out, because people tend to go to the movies a lot over the holidays, and it's always cool when there's a kids movie. But this one, you know, my grandchildren are a little too small to go to the movies, but I think I might take this one in. This looks so cool. It's got an amazing cast of characters. Everybody from Kelly Clarkson, Ving Rhames, Gabriel Iglesias, Patricia Heaton, Kristen Chenoweth, Christopher Plummer, Tracy Morgan, Tyler Perry, and Oprah Winfrey are all starring in this movie. And again, it's called The Star. It opens Friday, November 17th. And a little bit of a backstory is called that to give you a little idea of what it's about. In Sony Pictures Animation's The Star, a small but brave donkey named Bo, who is played by Stephen Ewan, Bo the donkey. He yearns for a life beyond his daily grind at the village mill. One day he finds the courage to break free and finally goes on the adventure of his dreams. On his journey, he teams up with Ruth, who is played by Adie Bryant, a lovable sheep who has lost her flock, and Dave, a dove with lofty aspirations. And Dave is played by Keegan Michael Key. Along with 3 wisecracking camels and some eccentric stable animals, Bo and his new friends follow the star and become unlikely heroes in the greatest story ever told, The First Christmas. So I am so interested to see this movie play out on screen in an animated form. It is talking about the first Christmas, the birth of Jesus Christ, and so it will be, I think, a really cute movie, and will tell the story. And put it in language that I think kids everywhere, as they go see this movie, are going to understand. And what a great cast of characters, indeed, on this movie. And so, in any event, we're going to give you a little bit of a preview now of what this movie is all about. And I think you're going to enjoy it.
For centuries, one story has touched the lives of people across the world. This holiday season, you're invited to discover the story of the first Christmas from an entirely new perspective.
Hang on! Cyrus! Down off!
I expected a left turn 2 deserts ago.
These wise guys are lost. That's it. I'm fighting through the rain.
From the studio that brought you Miracles from Heaven and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Stephen Young, Keegan-Michael Key, Gina Rodriguez, Zachary Levi, Kelly Clarkson, Patricia Heaton, Kristen Chenoweth, Tyler Perry, Tracy Morgan, and Oprah Winfrey.
King Herod is up to something.
Mary, you're in danger. You need to listen to what I'm about to say extremely carefully.
Do you want a belly rub?
The Star.
You jump out and create a distraction.
Hey, here it goes!
There's something seriously wrong with those animals.
That looks like it sounds like it's going to be a great movie. I've actually seen the trailer, so pardon me for saying it looks like, and the trailer is just absolutely cute. If you get a chance, go to YouTube and check it out. You can also go to thestar.com, I think is the website for the movie, or you can just Google it and look for the Star movie. And but it's really cute, and I can't wait to see it played out on screen. And also, which, by the way, Pam, what did you think? Have you heard much about this movie? I think this would be a great movie for you and your G-sons to go to.
Actually, I saw Mariah Carey talking about it on one of the, like Entertainment Tonight or something. I think that's what she was on. So it piqued my interest. And after hearing the movie trailer, which that was the first time I heard it, You don't even know. There was a couple times I wanted to burst out laughing. So I think this is going to be really good for the kids and for adults.
Yeah, and especially since we know like who's going to be in it, you know, and you hear the voiceovers for the different animals, and then you envision that person doing these voiceovers. It's really kind of fun to connect those dots. But yeah, I think this is going to be great. When kids are going to love it, and I think it's going to be a huge hit over the holiday season. And it comes out on Friday, November 17th. Premieres in theaters, and it's called The Star. And one other tidbit, you mentioned Mariah Carey, Pam, and she is doing the title song for this movie, and it is quite a good song. I've heard it several times already. We have it in rotation on our station, the Christmas station, and it's really quite popular. I mean, people are requesting it, and they seem to really like it. So we're going to play that for you now. Here's Mariah Carey and The Star.
One dark night, something that follow the light. So you look up and see the word that's written upon the sky. Strong and wise, keeping the Lord as your guide. And through the doubt you realize He's with you all the while. Follow that star above you. Should the world try to break you down, there is one who waits for you. So
Mariah Carey and The Star from the motion picture of the same name, The Star. And again, it premieres in theaters on Friday, November 17th. All right, we have got one more Blake Shelton song that we're going to feature from his album, re-released from 2012, that is out this year. And this is a brand new song on this album. The album is called Cheers It's Christmas, and this is Christmas Eve.
I'm looking for you on Christmas Eve. All over the world the angels sing. But I'm feeling lost, can you save me? I'm looking for you on Christmas Eve. I'm looking for you on Christmas Eve.
I can't see in this darkness, so in need of forgiveness. Before all of my faith dies, show me the way like a northern light. Come find me, 'cause I can't find myself. I'm looking for you on Christmas Eve. All over the world the angels sing, but I'm feeling lost, can you save me? I'm looking for you on Christmas Eve. I'm looking for you on Christmas Don't know how I got where I am, hurting so much I need healing. All I have is what I can pray. Send me your mercy, I need your grace. I'm looking for you on Christmas Eve. All over the world the angels sing, but I'm feeling lost, can you save me? I'm looking for you on Christmas Eve. I'm looking for you on Christmas Come find me, 'cause I can't find myself. I'm looking for you on Christmas Eve. All over the world the angels sing, but I'm feeling lost, can you save me? I'm looking for you on Christmas Eve. I'm looking for you on Christmas Eve. I'm looking for you on Christmas Eve.
Blake Shelton and Christmas Eve, and that comes from the Cheers It's Christmas album. And that is the last song. We've got one more song we're going to play before we close tonight, but that is the last song we'll be reviewing for this evening. Pam, what'd you think?
I think that it's worth buying the album again, even if you own it, just to get those 3 new songs.
I totally agree.
And what a great gift it would be for the music lovers in your life as well.
For sure. And actually, I tell you, this is, I think, going to be one of my favorite albums moving forward, that I will play year in, year out, as I know for many people. But I agree with you, Pam. I think many people need to get this album just for the 3 new songs because we premiered them here tonight, and they are indeed special. So I'm so glad he re-released this. And I guess we can
know,
thank
right?
Gwen Stefani because maybe he wouldn't have re-released it had she not put out her album. Who knows? But anyway, we are. That is going to about wrap it up for us tonight. And before I wrap, I want to throw in a couple of programming notes. Saturday, November 18th. As you know, Hallmark will be playing their amazing movies. But also, if you follow Freeform, it is their official kickoff to their countdown to 25 Days of Christmas. It begins. And The Wizard of Oz will be on TBS, which that's always kind of a holiday traditional thing, which is a Thanksgiving tradition. And there's just a lot of stuff going on. I mean, I think Saturday, the 18th, is kind of a synonymous kickoff official day for a lot of holiday programming. So you definitely want to be sure and catch that because a lot of great holiday standards and favorites that we all love to watch year in and year out will be officially on go. So anyway, did you know that it was going to be the official kickoff for Freeform, Pam? I knew it was coming up. I just didn't realize it was the 18th.
No, actually, I didn't until you just said something. So thank you for letting me know.
I know. Now, just a programming note. You want to be here next Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern because that is going to be our biggest show of the entire holiday season, I do believe. I mean, I might be wrong down the road, but I do believe this is going to be our biggest show. We're going to have about 10, anywhere from 8 to 10 brand new movies that we're going to be talking about. Box office, Hallmark, several of the networks. As I said earlier, Hallmark Channel in itself is going to have a 5-night movie premiere of some of their Christmas movies for this holiday season because a couple years ago they started this over the Thanksgiving weekend. It's become tradition, and now, from Wednesday to Sunday, you're going to have a different brand new movie every night. So lots going on next week. We'll have a new album we'll be promoting, and we're going to try to cram it all in 2 hours. And hopefully Pam goes to the dentist next week, guys. You know what that means?
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't mean anything. It means she'll be back to her normal self. We hope so, Pam.
Exactly.
And hopefully, when we get here next week, we'll be inching closer to her putting her tree up. And we'll find out if I have mine up yet. So stay tuned, folks. You don't want to miss it.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun. We so need to get that sound effect. I'm telling you, we so need the sound effect. But any event. But again, we want to thank you for tuning in. As always, we enjoy having you back here every week, and we will be back here again next Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, and to bring you more great movies and music, and we look forward to that. So, Pam, get well. Feel better, get that tree up so you can look at that because get your Christmas music on because between the two, that's got to make you naturally feel better. And don't make me come up there, fly up there, and decorate your tree for you, So anyway, but I'm very excited
I'll purposely not decorate it just so you fly up here and we finally get to meet. That would be our Christmas miracle.
For real indeed. So anyway, well, folks, that is going to about wrap it up for us this evening. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. And as we close our show tonight, we do have one last Blake Shelton song, and this was on his original release of Cheers, It's Christmas. And as you know, as we said from week 1 of this show, we would close the show every week with a version of White Christmas. And it just so happens that Blake has a version of this on his album, Cheers, It's Christmas. So we're going to close and end the show with his Blake Shelton and White Christmas. Have a great evening all. God bless, and good night.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. Where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas with every Christmas card I write. May